What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Okay, guys, Kenobi. Kenobi has dropped the long-awaited Disney Plus series that is serving as sort of a follow-up to the prequel trilogy. It is here. And I can tell you, like, right up front, guys, we're going to do the same thing we always do. We all know how this goes by now. Half the people are going to love it. Half the people are going to hate it. Have at it. You know, people are going to fight amongst each other, whatever. But listen, for what it's worth, I'm here to tell you that there is a key to enjoying this show from what I can tell. And it's very basic. The key to enjoying this show is to simply forget everything that you have seen up until now. Just forget about it. If you watch the prequels, don't try to apply anything that you've seen in the prequels or the books or the Clone Wars, for that matter. Apply nothing to this, okay? And just go in with a completely empty brain, conscience. Whatever you know or knew, you don't know, okay? Now, once you have wiped your mind clean of all thoughts, everything is drained out of your ear, you know what I mean? Have at it. Love it. You know, and you have a much better chance, I should say, of loving it. And, you know, it's interesting because the show actually begins with a lengthy recap of the prequels. So it's weird because they don't want to remember the prequels up to a certain degree, but they're going to prominently display recaps of the prequels in the very beginning. And I'm just like, okay, well, I think that it would have done better with an opening crawl. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, The Mandalorian didn't have an opening crawl. Boba Fett didn't have an opening crawl. You know, it's true. But those shows were not billed as a continuation. It's not as epic as this one is supposed to be. So basically, all you would have needed was an opening crawl, you know, to remind you of where Obi Wan is at this particular point in his life. And you just go from there. It's like I did not like the recaps and stuff like that, because once again, why would you choose to remember the very things that they're asking you to forget? Ultimately, that is what they're doing. They're asking you to forget a lot of the things that they showed in those prequels that would make what they're doing in this show not as likely. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get into it, guys. I'm not going to give away a lot of spoilers here and everything. This is just basically my thoughts on all of this. It pretty much goes the way you would expect it to go. I mean, especially based upon what we know of Disney Lucasfilm and the way their storytelling is right now. So you got Obi Wan. You know, he's on the planet. He's you know, in exile, or you know, he's like laying low and everything. And he's basically living a life where he is a meat packer. He does a lot of playing with his meat in the first episode, especially. He's stealing meat, for that matter, but I guess he's stealing it for his little animal and everything. So I guess that makes it better. But he is stealing, and he is constantly playing with his meat. And when you really think about it, guys, that's something that we kind of knew that he was probably doing in his isolation all of these years. You just never thought you'd get a confirmation. Obi-Wan has spent his time in exile playing with his meat. I'm not kidding, guys. So anyway, moving on. He is pretty much resolved that this is his destiny. He's going to be looking after Luke. And you know, it's also interesting too, because he has an exchange with Uncle Owen where he's telling Uncle Owen that Luke needs to see more of the galaxy, but didn't he put him there so he would not be out in the galaxy? You know, it's just weird to me that he would say that. He's got to see things, you know, when he's ready, he's got to be trained. But then he tells a Jedi who comes looking for him, you know, who's in danger, that the time of the Jedi is done. This is Jake Kenobi. Basically, that's what it is. Because Luke did the same thing in The Last Jedi. At the time for the Jedi is done. You know, basically Obi-Wan says the same thing. It's done. The Jedi is done. We lost. Yet, he says to Uncle Owen that Luke has to be trained when the time is right. Trained in what if the Jedi is done and they lost? Leave him alone if that's how you feel about it. But, you know, once again, forget the things that you think you know, and you're loving it so far, okay? So, enter the Inquisitors, okay? We got, you know, the round-headed great pumpkin head coming in, and he's looking around. He's trying to intimidate people. He's making the speech that we saw in the trailer. And, of course, you got Riva! who's standing there looking like she just came off the block. She just came out of Jamaica Queen somewhere, with her realistic hairstyle, and that's fine. By the way, she is beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's like the chick playing Reva, she's a cutie. However, here, she is misplaced in her acting skills. The way that she delivers her lines, bro, it could be a lot better. I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's just true. She's trying, and that's the sad part. She is trying, but it's just not coming across. You're just not feeling it. She's doing what she thinks she needs to do. But anyway, she gets bored, so you can imagine how the audience feels. She gets bored listening to the Grand Inquisitor Pumpkinhead, so she decides that she's going to out the hidden Jedi that actually I mentioned earlier, right? Because they're like, listen, the Jedi are like some, forced crackheads. It's like they have to do the things that they do. They have no choice. If they see people are in danger, they must leap into action. So going on that philosophy, she decides that she's going to threaten somebody and, of course, expose the hidden Jedi. And she does. Okay, so I should say, guys, that I guess I am talking some spoilers here, but I guess it's the only way that I know how to talk about this, okay? So I will put the spoiler warning in the the thumbnail, so you already knew going in, okay? So anyway, yeah, so she outs the dude runs, like I said, he goes and finds Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan denies him. Obi-Wan denies this Jedi, this scared Jedi, this Jedi that knows him, to be a warrior, a trustworthy, strong Jedi. He turns him away, and of course that ends up costing that Jedi on the run his life. Okay, so Obi-Wan is responsible for this Jedi being dead now. He's hunted down like a dog, and Obi-Wan did nothing to stop him. He goes back and plays with his meat. I shit you not. Okay, so he's happy doing that. He's content to be playing with his meat and lurking around, like a creepy old guy, the farm, watching Luke, even though he's not wanted there. So anyway, a mere 25 minutes into this, cut to little Leia. Okay, we all knew it was coming, so now the story takes us to young Leia. Okay, she's got to be all of about maybe 10 years old. Have you ever wondered what Leia was like when she was 10 years old? Turns out she's exactly the same. She's just mini Leia is what she is. There has been no personality development whatsoever. She is that Leia that we know, but shrunk down. You know how people say, a lot of time has passed, I wasn't that person back then. Leia can't say that. She was always that person, and they go to great lengths to show that she was always that person. So as a result of that, they put the most unrealistic lines in the mouth of this little girl. She's talking like no 10-year-old I know of ever speaks, but it's okay. It's Leia. And of course, she is hard to control. So even though she's got the disposal of the whole realm, security, all types of things, royal guard, all of that, she is arguably one of the most important people that you're going to find in there, even though all of them seem to know that she's not an Organa. I don't get it. How did they know this? There's this kid who's teasing her because she's not a real Organa. She's not a real Organa. But is that what they call keeping her cover? So anyway, she runs off, right? Because she's just that mischievous. She runs off, and of course she gets captured. Now, Bail Organa has to seek the help of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan doesn't want to do it, but unlike the Jedi that he let die, he decides, okay, I guess I'll do it. I'll help. Classism from Obi-Wan. He'll help the rich people, but he won't help the poor Jedi. I don't know what that's about, but yes, so he leaves Luke unguarded. We could at least see him set something up, like one of those porch cameras or something, something where he's keeping an eye on Luke. But no, he just leaves, guys. He leaves, and he leaves far, man. He plays with his meat one more time, and he's out. So he goes off, right? Bounding off into adventure. And he goes and, make a long story short, he finds Leia, he breaks her out and everything. Leia is, psychoanalyzing him and everything. She's like, you know what? I bet you love to play with your meat. Obi-Wan is like, I don't think that's appropriate, young lady. Hello there. No, that doesn't happen. But anyway, so they're on the run. The Grand Inquisitor, Great Pumpkinhead, he's constantly getting into it, by the way, with Reva. Reva is overstepping her bounds every turn. You know, I don't see how this woman is even alive at this point. Every time you turn around, she's trying to undermine people. She's trying to second guess them. You know, they call her all types of gutter rats and all of this stuff. She stinks, you know, all of this stuff, you know, and she puts it back on them. So they're constantly bickering with each other. And so anyway, she is given to be obsessed with Obi Wan because she wants to impress Lord Vader, because I guess she knows the history between Obi Wan and Lord Vader, which is strange because in this show they're actually trying to pass it off that after 10 years Obi Wan does not know that Anakin is alive as Lord Vader, yet Riva knows the history between Anakin and Lord Vader. Now once again, if you want to like this, okay, now I'm going to calm it down. Because I know how this goes. Like I said, I know how it goes. People are just waiting to jump in my comment section and tell me how unfair I am. Love it, man. Love it. I love you loving it, okay? But all I'm saying is, how likely is it that Riva would know the history of Anakin? She actually calls him Anakin. She knows that Darth Vader is Anakin. She knows that Darth Vader as Anakin has had a history with Obi-Wan Kenobi. How does she know this? And Obi-Wan is out there somewhere acting, after 10 years of Vader doing what he's been doing, acting like he doesn't know that Anakin survived and is Lord Vader. How is this possible, guys? Go back once again. Okay, don't go back, all right? Don't go back. You don't have to go back. But I'm just saying, if you go back to Revenge of the Sith, you see that Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin has been dubbed or renamed or knighted or apprenticed, whatever you call it, Lord Vader by the Emperor. He knows this. So in 10 years of Lord Vader doing the shit that he's been doing and Obi-Wan being where he is, it's not likely that he wouldn't know this. But okay, we're being asked to accept this, so fine. All right, so Riva now is on the trail. All right, she is doing everything she can to smoke him out because she is using Leia as bait. Ultimately, Leia actually figures it out. Little 10-year-old Leia figures it out, which is totally unrealistic to me. But she's like, yes, I've been used to smoke you out. She runs. Obi-Wan is chasing her. Riva is chasing Obi-Wan. The Grand Inquisitor Pumpkinhead is chasing after Riva. Then Riva and the Grand Inquisitor Pumpkinhead have their ultimate falling out. Okay, so listen. Also, I should just say this, all right? Riva is intimidating everybody, you know, like in the village and stuff like that. She is a source in these 2 episodes as great tension. You know, she's threatening Obi-Wan. She's threatening Uncle Owen. She's threatening Luke. Now, the funny thing about this is that all of these characters go on to be in episode 4. Except Riva. So how effective is your little suspense and tension when you know nothing is happening to any of these characters except for Riva, maybe the Grand Inquisitor, Pumpkinhead, and anybody, I mean Darth Vader also. Nothing's going to happen to him as well. You know, so much for your attention. You know, but that's what's going on here. So this is what you have, guys. And these were your 2 episodes. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the specifics of, you know, how it ends, but I think we all know how it ends. It ends with Darth Vader breathing because that's what they always do. You know, they want to ramp up the tension. You know, they want to end the scene. They want to end the episode. Oh. Of course, you can collectively hear people all over the country. Oh, it's Darth Vader. Like we haven't heard. Oh God, here we go. So anyway, this is what we're dealing with, guys. And John Williams, he's got a musical score. You know, you got to listen to his music. I believe his music was at the end there, and it sounded good. You know, the music sounded good, man. It did. The look of it, you know, there was a lot of good things. There's things in here that I can appreciate. There are things in here that I could like, and I appreciate that other people could like. I understand that. But all I'm saying is this should not be happening. You know, I was looking for you guys to make me believe, but I can't. Okay, and it really, really brings me down that these people have no caring whatsoever to make this thing credible and compatible with what came before and what came after. The fix is in, okay? Just the way we said it would. Now, I will say this. For everyone who was concerned with me saying that this was a bait and switch, based on these 2 episodes, I will say this does not fit the description or the qualifications of a bait and switch based on these 2 episodes, because Obi Wan was prominently featured in his show Obi Wan or Kenobi. All right, Reva is there. She does have the ability to take it over, but as per these 2 episodes, she has not. She's just this menacing, wannabe menacing character in the background, you know, who for some reason can't nail her lines. All right, so that's what you got. Bait and switch, not with these 2 episodes. No, they're not, okay? However, you can see it. You can see what is coming, okay? Or you can look forward to it. You know what I mean? You can anticipate it. Of course, it could be wrong. But based on these 2 episodes, guys, that's what you're getting right here, okay? What happens from here is anybody's guess, all right? But I just feel that it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you are absolutely, positively required to disregard everything that you've known up until this point in order to really get a lot out of this. You know, you can get a lot out of it. I'm just saying there are some questions that you just can't get around. You explain to me how Obi-Wan doesn't know in 10 years that Anakin survived and is Darth Vader. You tell me. I'm open to it. Let me know. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for now. Those are my initial thoughts on this. You can get in the comment section. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and of course, the super thanks there is, you know, I thank you guys so much. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.